Here's the next project for restoration. 1981 Williams solar fire. I'll probably get to this in maybe 3 or 4 weeks or so. I'm just finishing up a Flight 2000 right now. I'm really looking forward to this one. I had actually never heard of or played solar fire, and I've been around for a while. I was in my teens in the early 80s. Never saw this machine. It's somewhat of a rare bird, 782 produced. That's probably why I never saw it in my little hometown. I played this for the first time at the Rocky Mountain Denver Pinball Showdown a couple of years ago. It was in the tournament room. Absolutely fell in love with this game, and I've been looking for one ever since. This came out after Williams Black Knight. Black Knight was one of my favorite machines. I restored one about 3 years ago. And quite honestly, after I restored it and I played the hell out of it for about a year and a half, I got bored with it. It just became too easy to beat, too easy to play. Even on a 3-ball setting, I was playing for 20, 30 minutes or so. This is basically a harder version than Black Knight. It's got the 3 captive balls, except instead of a single trowel, you've got a captive ball here, or not really a captive ball, but a capture ball here, and then a capture ball in here for 3-ball multi-ball play. And like Black Knight, it also does 2-ball multi-ball play. Got a couple of ramps up to the upper playfield. Got 4 flippers. Got several target banks. 1, 2, 3, 3 bank targets, 2 on the bottom and 1 on top, and then a 4 target bank. A captive ball. A really difficult shot up here to collect the solar letters. It gets really difficult because this wire form here that forms a V makes it really hard to hit that target, and it's timed. So the letters light up every few seconds, and if you're going after a particular letter, you've got to time your shot to get up in there. So not only is the shot hard to get in there, you also have to time it right. Same thing, kind of a similar thing with the fire. So you're trying to get the solar letters here and to get the fire letters here. That's off of this target bank, and this target bank is not timed. So unlike these banks that are timed, kind of like Black Knight, where after you hit one target and after a few seconds it resets, this one, you hit one, you only get a time period to knock down the other 2 targets. If you don't knock down those other 2 targets at the end of the time period, instead of resetting, it just stays up. Then you've got to hit the remaining targets to restart the sequence again. That makes it difficult to get the fire. Not only that, but it's virtually impossible to backhand off of this flipper into here. So all your shots into this target bank are coming from here. So that limits your opportunities. Anyway, let's talk about condition. Normally I buy projects that are dilapidated. $500, $400, and then over time I'll put money into it, time, and restore them up to like new condition or even better. This one is actually in pretty nice shape. I'm not going to powder coat this one. So a lot of times I'll powder coat the coin door, the lock bar, the side rails, the lift trim, and then a bunch of stuff on the inside of the cabinet. This one I think I'm going to go original, mainly because of the rarity of this game. Only 782 produced. And not to mention the fact that these side rails are in pretty nice shape already. No dents, no real scratches. I could probably buff out what's there. Same thing with the coin door. The guy I bought it from actually put on new chrome legs already, so those are already set. Even this side rail looks pretty good too. That should be able to clean up real nicely. No dents, which is key. So I think I'm just going to leave that at stainless. These originally came with chrome legs too, so that's all set. These will clean up really nice. Back glass, it's flaking in a lot of spots. I actually already have new black glass. Back glass from CPR. The playfield. So nobody's making a reproduction playfield right now, although Las Vegas Playfields did a rescreen of this a couple years ago, and they did a rescreen a few months ago. But that was the last time buy. I don't think he's going to do it again. So my only real option on this playfield, which has a lot of art missing here and there, I'm not going to spend the time, money, or resources to repaint this and then re-clear coat it. Outside edge makes a hard top. So I'm going to put a hard top on this system, make it look and play brand new. I got a new plastic set as well. Everything else on here will clean up really nicely. I'll probably print out, 3D print out some new drop targets. This has incandescents in them, so I will convert, color match the LEDs with LEDs on the colored inserts. GI might go Mitchell retro, soft white. This will look really nice. I think this will clean up really nice. And it's complete, that's the big thing. So the cab is actually in pretty decent shape. I will strip it and repaint it and fix the nicks, scratches and gouges, but there's nothing really seriously wrong as far as the cab goes structurally. Possible exception, well, the exception, is this back here. And this is common damage that you see on these era pins where operators will roll the cabinet around as they're setting it up and put a lot of weight on this part here as they're lifting the cabinet up and down, and that just gets eaten away. So I'll have to put in some new wood in there, get that squared away. That won't be too bad. Otherwise, other than the normal, missing and damaged corners and edges, which you see all the time, those will clean up easily. A little bit of Bondo, a little bit of filler, repaint, pinball pin stencils. This will look brand new. Surprisingly, the apron is in really nice shape. In fact, I'm not even sure I'm going to do anything to the apron. Normally I contract out somebody to do some artwork for me, a new decal or something like that, or maybe touch up with paint. This one looks really, really good. I think I'm just going to leave that as is. Same thing with the shooter gauge. So I don't think there's going to be much work there. The hard top, I've done 9 or 10 of these, 9 or 10 hard tops. So I know the process won't take very long at all to get the hard top on there. But just like a playfield swap, I'll be taking everything off this playfield, front or top and bottom. Every assembly will be going through, torn apart, cleaned, put back together, replacing little springs and whatnot parts here and there. As far as the playfield goes, besides the hard top, one challenge we'll have is this shooter lane. It ought to clean up, but I'm gonna have to be really careful when I'm sanding this. Make sure we keep that bevel really nice, while at the same time getting rid of years and years and years and thousands of games and wear use off of that. For the playfield rails, I am going to do IBIS rails like I do on pretty much all of my machines. I'll have a new playfield rails reproduced. I'm going to do them in gloss black. That'll probably be the only change I'm going to make to this machine that steers away from an OEM look. I just never really liked the natural wood look here. Same thing on Black Knight. Black Knight had the natural wood look for the playfield rails. I am going to go with gloss black. I think that'll look nice. Let's have a look inside the back box. So like the playfield, the back box is pretty complete. These are the original high voltage displays. They all work nice and bright, no missing segments. So there's still plenty of life left in these. A lot of times I will go to LED displays from Xpin or Pinatech or Wolfpack or somebody. But these, I think I'm going to keep these. They work nice. It'll save $300 or $400 off of my build budget. So I'm going to keep these. Open up. We got modern boards in here, except for the soundboard. Soundboard's still OEM and original, but our solenoid board and our MPU, combined MPU, so you get rid of that troublesome, 2-board set that Williams had with the 40 or some pin connector here that was always a hassle. Got rid of that, the previous owner anyway, and put in a new CPU or MPU. So that'll be nice. Probably going to fuse the GI bridges, just like I did on Williams Flash when I did a 1979 Williams Flash restoration a couple years ago, just for peace of mind. Wiring harness looks pretty good, though I'll probably repin everything, changing any of the IDC connectors that are there to Molex. I prefer Molex. Shielding is a really nice shape. Not much dirt, no nicotine stains, no scratches, or very little scratches. So I'll be reusing the same shielding. I'm going to pull it all out, repaint and redo the back box, and put the original shielding back in after I give it a once over cleaning wise. The lamp panel door, that's in really nice shape. I usually paint the back of these when I take the lamp panel doors apart. I think I'm just going to leave this one natural. It looks really clean. And I'll probably just paint the front. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll make that call. Usually there's lots of black marks and soot and whatever from incandescent lights burning for years and years and years. This is actually pretty clean. So I'll strip it down. I'll try to clean it up with Crazy Clean or some other detergent, and see how white or how bright I can make that white. Maybe I won't paint this at all. Maybe I'll just clean this one up. I'll make that call later. Let's have a look inside the cabinet. Well, this cabinet is super clean. Might be able to restore this lock bar receiver on the bench buffer, the buffing wheel. See about that. But yeah, I mean, normally these things are filled with debris and floor sagging and other issues, but this will clean up really nicely. Transformer board looks good. Yeah, it looks really nice. Tilt board's nice and simple. This ought to clean up really nice. Tear everything apart down to the last nut and bolt. Get that looking new again. I'll probably put in new service buttons. New decals, new tech cards, stuff I can print out. Wow, speaker actually. I wonder if that's been replaced. That looks too good to be OEM. Oh, it looks like OEM markings on it though. Underside of playfield looks pretty good. Still, this will be stripped of everything. I may repaint the underside of the playfield, give it a nice fresh coat of gray. It's pretty dense and pretty packed. I can see me spending several weeks on this, getting this playfield harness out, cleaned up and put back in. But yeah, man, it looks pretty nice. Like I said, I'm usually buying dilapidated projects that are almost too far gone to do. This one is it's a working project. I would say it's probably in a little better condition than player's condition, actually. Aside from the rarity of the playfield and the work that you got to do there, everything else on here is pretty straightforward. Let's fire it up. All right, before firing this up, let's have a look at the back glass. Yeah, it's kind of serviceable, but there's a lot missing, and it's really noticeable when the light's behind it installed. So yeah, for the level of restoration that I'm going to do in this, we're going to put a CPR in there. All right, so let's fire it up. Sucker comes right up. And it's got all incandescents in it now. When I got it, there were a few lights out. A few switches needed adjustment, but for the most part, this was very, very, very playable when I got it. So we're starting in a good place here. One-handed pinball. Love the Williams sounds from the 80s. Just like Black Knight. Multi-ball. One-handed pinball. Currently set the 5-ball. All right. Can't wait to get started on this.